are live. So we are back for the continuation of incredible conversations about building brand authority. And when we left off last week, we did not have a name for this endeavor and have since not only confirmed our name, but also got set up on all of the various platforms. So this conversation will be coming out as episode 2 of the Authority Hour, where we prioritize the truth that we understand to be truth, that it is not an option, but to have digital authority in the times ahead of us. So, in that,
That's right.
that's dope. That's dope. Oh man, this is exciting, bro.
Bring it in, dog. Let's go. Bring it in.
Yeah, man. All right, good stuff. So, one of the things that really jumped out in last week's conversation to me was the idea of identifying the like our ideal target market. And you were mentioning last week, Ronnie, that that's still something that continues to be something that you're sharpening the edges for. So I really like kind of looked into that over the well, not really looked into it, but just extracted from some of the conversations that I've had with clients, and wanted to kind of present a framework for you to let me know what you think about, and for us to kind of discuss.
Okay.
So when it comes to identifying the target audience, because everything for me is about metrics, because it's got to make sense, man. Um, and a PVP matrix is something that I learned about from Alan Dibb, which it's evaluating every potential market that we could present ourselves to on this PVP matrix. The first variable being personal fulfillment. In other words, how much do you enjoy this type of customer? And we know we got all kinds of markets that we could appeal to, but who do we actually enjoy like working with? And then when it comes to the V, that's the value to the marketplace. So in other words, how much do they actually, how much does the customer actually value the experience that you provide, or the work that you do?
Yeah.
And then the profitability is, how profitable is that work? And by assessing all three of those traits on the 1 to 10 scale, based on what ranks the highest, you kind of get a sense of what that ideal market is. And drilling that down into the actual kind of components of that customer avatar, thinking about the demographics when it comes to the age, their income, where they are, where they are in life, like occupationally and otherwise. Um, their values, beliefs, fears, the things that like actually keep them moving, the problems that they're actually ready to solve.
Yeah.
Where you can find them at to be able to reach them, and what a day in the life looks like to really be able to understand how the solutions can provide value to the problems of that ideal client. So kind of thinking about that, and just like, because my intent is to lay out a framework that folks that are in our shoes could use to get started, right?
Yeah.
What's your read on that, Ronnie?
I think this is a great conversation, Jesse, because it's actually over this last week, I have been working on reframing my mindset. Part of being an entrepreneur is constant evolution and constant reset, right? So if we can't, I'm going to silence my phone. We can't, what worked yesterday won't get us to the next level. And so here, I'm going to break it down as fast as I can and respect people's time. We hold social media as a company culture as a truth, and you and I do as well, right? We hold it as a self-evident truth. We're not here to discuss whether this can work or not. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we are adopting AI as it evolves with us. And I want to run something by you. So this week I was talking to my team and I said, hey, when we find ourselves having conversations or working on a deal or doing whatever, maybe the last thing we should say is, how can AI help me think through this? And so after we start saying that, it started feeling really good. And then I took it another step, because at first I was going to use it for how can AI help me when I'm stuck? Now, remember, go back to what I said, like try to keep it all together, right? My brain has got me a very long way, but it's right here. We need to increase the capacity. If you can increase your capacity, then your output can increase. But what we fail to do most of the time is look elsewhere or increase the brain capacity by thinking that we have the answers. I can take the company to the next level if I just do more work, if I work harder, if I come in on Saturday, if I do this, all of these different things. People are trying to increase their capacity. What I'm trying to do is, when I was stuck, let's talk to AI and see if it'll help me. But now I advanced that even further. Even if we're having a conversation and we have an answer, we're still going to run it through AI. Not for AI to give me the answer, just to increase the capacity of the thinking. So if I'm like, yeah, we think this is the right way, let's execute. Wait, let's run it through whatever AI you're using and let it spit out. Give me 5 other alternatives to this answer, flesh that out, see if this is working right. Show me an exit strategy on this as well. So I feel like we're in a wonderful age right now where our brains can be put on rocket fuel and move our businesses at a level that we've never seen before. And I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I don't know if you picked up on that, right?
Yep. Absolutely. I'm 100% picking up. Yeah.
Well, you didn't drop the like.
All right, so I gotta, and we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. All of the sound effects and all that, like, so we can fully leverage this platform here. Right. I'm learning as we grow.
Yeah, I need the logo, because we can bring the logo up on the screen as well. Like, not there, but like, right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I can put the logo in the corner, whatever.
We're gonna work all that out. Yes. No. So my read on the AI conversation broadly is, as entrepreneurs, is certain AI resources that are out there that if we're not fully leveraging them as entrepreneurs, then it is akin to entrepreneurial abuse. Like, we are just hurting ourselves by not fully leveraging it, because to your point, the capacity piece, we only have so much capacity as one individual. What gives us the ability to increase that is by effectively leveraging the resources that are available to us. And with the advent of AI, again, we just be shortchanging ourselves to not be doing that. So to that point, and going back to that initial question that I had posed around the idea of really zeroing in, because when it comes to building digital authority, us understanding who we want to build digital authority with is kind of at the beginning of the journey. Because if we don't know who it is that we want to talk to, who it is that we want to work with, who it is that is best suited for us to be able to provide value to, then, we kind of just talking out into a void, right?
If you let me adding on to that, right? So when I say the first step is to embrace it as a truth. We know this when you wake up. If you're an entrepreneur out there, you're getting ready to go to work. I know this to be true. Social media and AI are the way of the future and the present. As a matter of fact, we've already missed the bus. So we're trying to just grab onto the back and keep going. Actually, let's use Jesse words. It's going to work. It's going to work just fine. We're in. Let's move forward. So now talking about the ideal client avatar or your PVP, the people we like to work with, the people who resonate most with our message. Most people just think they know what it is, including myself. I think I know who it is. The beauty of producing content and building an authority online is the numbers don't lie. It's fascinating. I'll go look at the background of my YouTube channel and it'll dive down into what country they're in, what cities they're in, gender, age bracket, everything. There's no reason to guess.
Right. What country has surprised you the most in your demographics?
Nigeria.
Man.
What's funny about that, Jesse? They're auto brokers in Nigeria. So they followed me on YouTube. They followed me on Instagram. And then I'm like, oh, they got a brokerage business in Nigeria. I'm reaching Nigeria.
That's dope.
YouTube. Yeah, Nigeria. That would be my favorite.
That's dope. That's dope, man. So I'm still because you've been putting out content since 2018, and I just started putting out content this year. So I'm still at the phase of just kind of flooding the market with content just so that I can look at the analytics on the backside and understand what type of content is resonating with my audience the most and who I'm reaching right now. And go ahead.
Yeah.
So as I'm still in that phase of getting all of this content out so that then I can look back and see, oh man, I never in a million years would have imagined that I'd be popping in Nigeria. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's dope. Oh man. So but when it comes to making it, what do you see any value in having a measured way of determining who your ideal client is so that you're not just shooting broadly? Because and adding some additional context to this. So you've been doing this for a while. You've been an auto broker for 25 years. When you first started, I'm pretty sure it was open, man, I just want to sell a car that anybody that I can talk to would just be, if you want to buy a car, then I want to talk to you. A long time ago. And then over the year, matter of fact, let's talk about that. How has that journey of at the very beginning wanting to just talk to anybody that was interested in selling a car to dialing it in to being more focused on the serious folks that really want to save time?
Now you're asking the right questions. I think that's a valuable question. What are the top 3 phases of business? So, the build stage, growth stage, the scale stage. You also have a plateau stage, right? So the build stage, right? Most people know the build stage as survival stage. They resonate with that, right? You just open the doors, you've put all your money in, you mortgage your house. Raise your hand if you've done that, and you're in survival mode. So in 2000, yes, I would talk to anybody with a pulse that even any type of car, $5,000 cars, $2,000 cars, it just didn't matter. So I thought that was my mindset. I had no teacher to teach me to hone in on who I really wanted to serve. And so what I ended up serving was, you could say everyone, but looking back on it, I served no one. That's what I'm telling you. Like, all I was doing was transactions. Like, if I can figure out a way to do a transaction, I can live to eat another day. Now, if you're in that phase, which businesses can go, survival to growth to plateau, they can do that. But it's like the hot crazy matrix as well. You can disappear from the plateau stage 1 month and then reappear in the survival stage, even though you've been in business 25 years. Now it makes more sense, right? So, like, here's what I'm saying. Like, when you're first starting, I understand. Focus on doing transactions. Use the word and. They can both exist. I want to sell a car to anybody in the world. However, and I deal with this avatar. This is really who I'm looking for. But while I'm starving, I will work with anybody that'll call me. So you can do that. So then you get to a place where your business is growing and you've really honed in on your avatar. You're working on serving those people well. They are resonating with your message, but you have a tax bill you didn't have to pay and you go back to survival mode because you got to do more business. The key at that point is the whole firm, is to continue to serve that avatar. You're going to be in survival mode, no doubt. But, your message has to continue to resonate so you don't confuse your client, confuse your potential avatar. It's very difficult. Easier said than done. I don't even think I really have mastered that, honestly. Like, it's been work in progress for multiple years. And me just speaking it right now brings it back to my mindset of, oh yeah, like when things get tough, don't forget, focus on what I really want to do instead of serving everybody, which we know means you're serving no one.
100%. 100%. No, because and I've gone through that phase as well, personally, on my journey of building my coaching firm.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to have this conversation, because each week we're going to continue to be talking about, all of the various strategies to build brand authority. But at the root of it is, like, who do we want to build this authority with? Right? It's not going to be just a open, with no limitations type of thing. So as we're getting into the flow of operating, generating leads, well, not generating leads, but again, dialing in who it is that we want to actually work with. From that criteria, Ronnie, really being intentional, how much do I enjoy working with this type of individual? Right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you think back to the beginning when you were going through through that phase of being willing to work with anybody, if at that time you were compiling, lessons learned in real time to say, how much do I actually enjoy working with this type of person early in the game, and asking how much do they value the value that you're going to bring to the table. Because on the auto brokerage side, we know going to a dealership is like stressful, it's time consuming. Like, you're selecting from the vehicles that are there on the lot, so there's limitations. It's them trying to haggle the financial rates and all of that. So the person that you want to talk to has to value that you're going to cut all of that out in order for it to be worth, you know what I'm saying? So, like, how much that they value, and then on the profitability side, how profitable that it is to work with different segments of society, or the ideal person that you would want to work with. Early in the game, if you had that kind of framework and applied that at the beginning, do you think that would have had any impact on your trajectory to this point?
May not be in this room right now because you wouldn't have had the ability to get through all of the assistance to get to me. You wouldn't have had enough money to even get me on the phone. So, like, it's a tough one. And I felt, so here's what I came to the realization of this week is I have to train it. I wonder why the people on my team don't embrace it. Like you other business owners out there, if you have people on your team and we find ourselves pointing the finger at them, don't forget that these 3 fingers here, these 6 are pointing back at me. So I'm really quick to embrace that. Like, I'm like, oh, I haven't trained them. I haven't schooled them on these are truths. Social media is working whether you like it or not. AI is working whether you like it or not. We're going to be on the forefront of this. We're going to ride the wave. We're going to dominate this particular space and keep moving forward with it. It doesn't mean that you can't do everything you've always done. This is the thing people need to understand. You can still use a pen and paper, bro, if you want. And you can type it into the damn computer and see what it says as well while you doing the problem by yourself, because that's the way you've always done it.
Or you can write it on paper and take a picture of it and upload it into AI, and you still gonna get the same result.
Oh my! I am not saying we should solely depend on AI to rule our life. And have you ever seen Wall-E? Yeah. You know, I'm not talking about lunch in a cup. I'm talking about we're talking about today, Jesse. And this. Excuse me, but my mind has reset as of like 18 hours ago. And here's all I'm saying. In my company going forward, everything we do will hold those truths as facts if you're on my team. You can choose to not be on the team, but there is no choice of we're going to go build it like you did in 2000, Ronnie, because you're really successful at that. Yeah, but that was then and this is now. Like, we can definitely talk about what I did and some of the things that you need to get up. You need to go to networking groups. You work on your articulating your message. Those things are always going to be true as well. We can have a whole wall full of truths, but we're also adding these 2 at the top right now, that we are embracing these things and we're going forward with it, with or without you. Hopefully with you. I'd like to see you win.
Right. Now, how did they receive that?
Haven't given them a message yet. If they're watching this, then they look forward to Monday morning meeting. I actually put out a proclamation in our digital chat. We use WhatsApp to keep everybody kind of connected, right? So we can ask questions, you have random questions throughout the day. So we like to have a live chat. That's another thing we know to be true. Everybody should be connected digitally, instead of let me call him on the phone. And when he gets back to my email in 6 days, then we can talk about it. Like, we're moving faster than that. But I put out a proclamation that said we hold social media to be true. We're no longer discussing it. And then we also hold AI to be true. So we're ending every engagement with, how can AI help me think through this? It can either improve it, help me solve it, teach me that I'm looking at it the wrong way, or maybe I need more time to process. Ultimately, we are going to make the decision, the humans.
Right.
But just like having 15 of me in the room. It's crazy, man.
Right. Now, how do you articulate to your team a strategy that helps them to prevent that cycle that you grew from years ago, which was being willing to sit down with anybody for whatever long period of time that it took to to close the deal?
Have them work a system. So, an interview system, teach them the interview process, teach them who we're actually looking for and who we serve. And also, one of the biggest lessons to teach them to grow into talking to their avatar is the willingness to walk away or excuse yourself from deals that we should not be connected with. It's okay if our services do not align with your priorities. It's okay. I feel like as business people, we get too bent out of shape when clients that we know should not be working with us, we spend a lot of time trying to convince them that we're the right solution, which they probably just need a different solution. It's not a knock on me. It's just, or them. It's not a good match of time and effort to be working together.
Right.
And honestly though, that's a missed point, right? When you're starting out, you think you got the best product. You've either created a product or you have a service or you're a business coach and you think you're the best thing on the planet, and I think that everybody should be working with me. You're wasting time if you're not working with me, right? But over the years, you realize that that's not gonna happen. And number two, how are you going to serve all those people? There's 700,000 people in this town. I can't do it. And
I mean, but beyond not being capable, just from a capacity perspective, being able to do that, like, I know personally, I don't want to work with everybody.
That's probably stage two. First thing is work with who you're talking to. And also, then step two, it's like, okay, who do you really like? Who lights you up when you go in the room? I feel what you're saying. I actually love that as well.
Yeah, no, like it's because it's a lot of folks again, and that's why that framework, those 3 questions, because again, if you're talking to someone that does not value what it is that you bring to the table, ultimately,
it's tough.
Like it's not worth the time. You know what I mean? And that's where content can serve that purpose, where it's like the content is out there, they can go consume that content on their own, and over time recognize the value that comes with walking in and sitting down for an hour and then having your car delivered to you in 24 to 48 hours or however long that it takes, or working 60 and 70 hours and figuring out how you're going to make payroll, or laying on a beach and looking at a dashboard on your phone, and that you've got the right amount of people coming into your storefront to make your sales goal for the day. and your manager don't got to call you. Like, if that's not I know that people they got to want that outcome in order for it to be worth the time for me to even want to, you know what I mean? So all of that stuff factors into really drilling into the ideal. And if we can save entrepreneurs that time of just chasing after anything with a pulse, as opposed to being intentional about who it is that we specifically want to work with, then this episode is serving its purpose.
Well, that's what you said. I just dropped a chat in the chat and there's a couple of people, if we can pause for a second after this, a couple of people have chimed in the chat, but like you said it, you were like, we spent a lot of time working on this. I'll try to summarize. We spent a lot of time selling our process. When you're looking at your avatar, you spend a lot of time selling your process. We have 300,000 cars a day. We can do new cars, used cars, trade-ins, financing, leasing. We can do all of these things, right? Instead of selling the outcome. The outcome is, like you said, do you want to be at the dealership, or do you want to be sitting at the beach while I'm doing all this work behind the scenes, producing your Escalade in black only with the brown leather that the Carfax report's checked out on? We've already ran it through the shop. It's not going to be more than 65,000. And all the numbers are going to be exactly what we said, and it'll be out front with a bow on it on Tuesday. Which sounds better? Do you want the outcome, or do you need to know all the details about the daggone process that we try to sell, right? So I think that's also another evolution. Like, if we're putting it together, it's like work on your avatar, then work on the people you like, and then start selling the outcome. Sell the outcome, the result. People who get paid for delivering a result make exponential money.
Right.
I wish I could name some of them. I'm trying to think of a good example. It's all of these, the rich and famous people or whatever. They have these people that take care of them. I have a dude that I bought a car from. He caters to 18 billionaires in America. That's what he does. He has dinner with them. He sits down with them. He lets them know how he solves their problems. Sometimes he does not hire them. But he told me, he's like, I work with 18 of them. And I'm like, he's only delivering outcomes, man. What's funny? They're not worried about the process because they think like a CEO. I've articulated what I want my outcome to be. How much is it? Okay, where do I sign? Deliver the outcome. I don't care if it takes you 15 people and we got used cars and new cars and trade-ins and I'm going to show you how to read a spreadsheet, like all of this stuff. It's like, what's the outcome that you're selling?
Right.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
Right. So as content is being put together, thinking about it through that lens, speaking about the outcome. But then another thing that I saw this week, so I had a one-to-one, and during it, I was thinking to myself, man, I got to get to the space where all of this stuff, all of this conversation has already been taken care of through the content. Right? That I have put out enough of a catalog in which the people that potentially want to work with me have already learned those things about me and what it is that we do, so that by the time that we're actually sitting down with each other, we can really kind of get to how I can bring value to them.
Yeah, it's a funnel. It's top of funnel. People are learning to get to know you. When people talk to me on the phone that have watched my YouTube catalog, they already have a connection to me. They know who I am.
Right.
Whether we work together or not is irrelevant.
Right.
We are talking because they feel like I can solve their problem, right? And that's because of the massive amounts of content that we put out. But yeah, I think that's a great goal. And I'm happy to see you do it at such a young age instead of I waited till I was like, I don't know, 49 when I started. And so, and I'll be honest, like you guys out there that are thinking about being an authority online, you already are an authority in your space. You are. If you run an HVAC company, if you run a business, if you have any type of business, you are an authority. You are a personal brand. Deliver it to the masses and then start attracting the people that you actually want to talk to.
See, and it's funny how perspective works, right? Because you starting your content journey at 49 and me starting mine at 40, right? Like I think to myself, I'm behind the power curve crazy, right? It's a matter of perspective, right?
Yes.
But the thing that is valuable is there's going to be a teenager that hears this somewhere at some point in time, and this conversation may spur them to see the opportunity as being more attainable for them just because of how we're contextualizing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that building a digital brand is a basic. It's also a good tool for developing a muscle. My brother and I talked this morning, Chris, because I was talking to him because we have a meeting every week for like 15 minutes about what did you learn this week? And I was like, hey, I learned X. And I also had this script writing thing that I was going through with him. I was like, dude, I figured this out and it's working like crazy. And he stopped and was like, okay, that's good. I'm gonna work on that. And then he was like, have you thought about this? Like Linktree, which I've been paying for Linktree for years. I didn't know it had an autoresponder just like ManyChat. You know what I mean? I've been avoiding ManyChat because I don't want another subscription.
Right.
But Linktree already does it. And so
I didn't know that either. It does?
You're today years old. So I haven't deployed it yet, but if I go on my Linktree right now, it's got auto responses that you can set up. If I go in and type in authority hour, if you type that in Instagram, not today, people, but we could set it up and then it'll give you the link to the podcast, so there's no need to pay for both of them. That's another beautiful thing. I get really passionate about this digital age we're in, right? Is you young people out there, it's like, man, you have access. Here's why it makes me so excited. When I started my business, I planted a flag and opened the doors. You want to be in the newspaper or the yellow pages? That was it. I mean, or I'm sorry, do you want to be on TV or radio? Okay, I don't have money for that. I don't have money for TV. I don't have money for radio. I don't even have money for the newspaper. I don't have money for any of this stuff. I'm starting from the dirt. And so listen. You could be starting from the dirt right now And Jesse and I have not paid a dime to get in front of you right now on this channel. And we have it going out on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 channels right now simultaneously. What is the problem? Like, it's like, I think that it just takes so long to get people to understand that, like, does not matter if you care about it or not.
It truly is. And I mean, you perfectly summarized it last week, and it leveling the playing field.
Yeah, we can compete. I can compete with the big dealers now with my avatar. To bring it all back together, right? Like, it's like, yeah, these people, and we're not doing. We need to think of it from a service heart. It's like they are looking to not go to the dealership. Where are you? And I'm like, I'm right here. I got you. I feel you. You want to sit down for 1 hour and take care of this? Or do you want to go down there all weekend long? It's like they're looking for you. So whatever service you guys are providing, it's a disservice to not put it out for free so they can find it.
So, speaking to the, because when we're talking about identifying our ideal customer or client, I actually had this conversation with one of my clients this week because we were comparing Q1 of last year to Q1 of this year, and we are currently below Q1 performance of last year. This year, that the comparison, we're currently below, and not on pace to hit the revenue goal for the year. So as we were having that conversation, it shifted to how we've been more intentional about the types of folks, types of customers that we've been targeting, and it has shifted the type of work that we're doing. So although what has been settled right now is below last year's Q1 performance, by the end of Q1, we will greatly surpass it because we have a different demographic of customer that we've been targeting, and those jobs are bigger. The estimates are bigger. They are larger projects. So now the timeline to collect is going to be a little different, but the payday is going to be a lot bigger because of changing who it is that we are targeting.
Man, Jerry Maguire said this. The movie came out in what? I mean, I don't know. Years ago. Tom Cruise movie, Jerry Maguire.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was a sports agent at a big firm that handled all the athletes, and he was tired of it. And he said, you know what? He wrote a memo, and he's like, here's what I think we should do with the company. To sum it up, he was like, fewer clients, more personal attention. Pretty much it, right? And I remember that, and this is exactly where my business is. So, right, you're going through Q1, you're honing in on your client. They're loving you in the room. You're loving being in the room. Trust the process. It's going to work out.
For sure. But and trust in the process, because like Ronnie doesn't talk about it as much as I talk about it, but you best believe he has an intimate relationship with his data. Right?
Yeah. No, yeah. Check this out. You want to see some of these comments? So look, this is a cool one. I don't know how to get people to put their LinkedIn names in there. I think they got to click a link or something, and then that'll show who they are. I got a feeling this might be Josh Wolf, but I don't know. And then, so thank you. We appreciate it.
For sure.
I'm honored to be in the room with Jesse. And then they also posted this. Jesse already knows this, but I run an outdoor archery business. I still use AI as a huge tool in my business to revamp your social media posts, to raffle prize sponsors each. Is this one of your clients?
No. That's my guy, Sam Westfall, man. He is incredible with everything that he's doing. So he's a veteran. And one of the things when it comes to veterans, I was talking with a friend of mine this week about this. Yeah. But I was speaking absolute salutation, salute. I was talking with a really good friend of mine this week that retired 2 years ago. And the thing about the military is while we're still wearing the uniform, like all of that is mapped out. Everything that you need to do is already mapped out. It's been done countless times before you. So like all you gotta
no thank you.
Follow the process. You ain't even gotta really think that much. Just do the things and you're gonna be good. But then it comes to the time where you are then retired and you no longer have that structure of them telling you exactly what to do, who you are, and what good looks like. And now all of a sudden, like you got to figure all of that out. So it's a huge adjustment for somebody that spends 20 plus years of their life in a systematic framework to then just be free of all of it. And it's like, well, I don't know what I want to do. You know what I mean? When I was talking with my friend, because we served together. Well, I got out. Whew, shoot, talk about time flying. 12 years ago. So I've had 12 years of like, I know how it was when I first got out, and like breaking out of the institutionalized how I looked at things. And I had to like navigate through that. And she's going through that now. The reason I'm saying all of that is because Sam Westfall, the work that he is doing through archery is truly life-saving, because a lot of veterans that end up getting out don't have an outlet to deal with all of the different mental challenges that come along with some of the things that we get exposed to wearing a uniform. So like Sam is absolutely incredible. So salute to him.
Salute, Sam. Yeah, when I got out, Jesse, I don't know what you're talking about. When I got out of the Army, before you were born, like, like you're not wrong, because you get out, like it's a whole nother podcast. Like talking to people that are getting out of the military, that want to start a business. It's just a system. In the military, it's like, I know I got to be there at 6. I got to run. I got to go back and shower. We go to chow hall. We go here. Here's the docket for the vehicles we're working on in the motor pool. This has to be done this way. There was no actual room or encouragement for critical thinking. I don't know what the military is doing with AI, but like I said, it's another podcast. But breaking that mindset, maybe not breaking it isn't the right word, but like
leveraging it. I think leveraging it, because there's value to it. But it has to evolve.
The discipline that we get being in the military of doing, so that's the thing, right? I was going to talk about that. Like doing this authority thing online, right, requires repetitive, boring work that pays no money. So the reason why it pays no money is because we're talking about today and getting rich quick. What Jesse and I know is if we repeatedly do this consistently and improve and increase our capacity, it will be more money than we can imagine eventually. And so we know that. We also know that to be a truth. Hold up. We also know that to be a truth. So the military trains you for that. You do a lot of work for no money every daggone day, digging and doing this stuff. And it gets this, you get this endorphin release from getting the tasks accomplished.
Right.
Knowing that, so what you didn't get paid, but you knew the mission was going to get done. Mission first, men always, right? Like we're going to get the mission done. So I salute the people that are coming out of the military and starting businesses, and maybe we can help them think through some of these things. But yeah, it took me a while to break that mindset too, dude. It just like, I couldn't understand what was going on in society. I was like, oh my goodness, just do it. Just do the work. Like I think it's a superpower. I'm too dumb to think about it. I'm just going to go do the work. I was in the Army, not the Air Force. They didn't pay me to think.
See, and in the Air Force, they only want us to think to a certain point.
To a certain level, and that's it?
Yeah.
About it, yeah.
And then it's just like, bro. So, no, it's definitely the discipline part of it is definitely something to fully leverage. But the piece of not being able to think open-mindedly and like truly be able to solve solutions to problems that may not have been presented yet. Right. So it's like when I think about getting, because I had field training before I deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. And when we were going through that training, all of the training was written based on the Cold War threat. So we still putting on our gas masks and doing all of these things.
Mop one, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've spent a lot, dude. You realize I spent like a year in Mop 2 in the desert. Like, bro, like every day walking around in that crap. Luckily, I was 20 years old, like, indestructible. I get what you're saying.
That's
discipline.
I done had some incredible sleep in Mop 4.
Oh yeah. Not funny about it. It's like, that's the thing, right? It's a business lesson. You used to doing the work and it's easy. I remember one time out there in the middle of NTC, for you soldiers out there, National Training Center in the Mojave Desert in California. And, it's not as serious as being in war, but like the tent blew off. The GP medium blew off. And I'm looking at the stars and I was like, well, zip, and went back to sleep. Don't panic. We'll get it in the morning. It doesn't matter if it's raining. It don't matter. Like, I need to get this 3 more hours and we'll fix that tent in the morning. There's no panic. Nobody was running around screaming and yelling. It was like, oh man, that sucks. Oh well, zip.
Right.
That's how business is. Yeah. Because poo-poo happens every day. Like, you're doing your online authority, you're building things, and I guess we're just dropping nuggets. Like, get used to poo-poo happening. That's not even mine. That's Mr. Wonderful. That's Kevin O'Leary. Poo-poo happens.
And as it happens, the onus is on us as the entrepreneurs to learn from those things and leverage them. Like, leverage those lessons, because it's always gonna happen. The unplanned, the unforeseen. A wise man, a wise philosopher by the name of Sir Michael Tyson once prophetically proclaimed,
I know this one. Go ahead.
Everybody got a plan till they get punched in the face. And
everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Have you ever been punched in the face? Life-changing. So we got another comment. Check this out. This is one of your followers, I believe. Groups like Warrior Rising, VBOC. I don't know what that is.
VBOC, Veterans Benefit. So they help veterans through the entrepreneurial journey.
Are they working on
getting started? VBOC. Yeah. So VBOC, that's here out in they got it here in this. I think it's a national program, but I know for sure they got it here out in the Springs. But it's definitely a resource for veterans. I don't know how the transitionary program is now, but when I got out and when I went through the what is it called? Boots to I can't remember what it's called, but the interesting part about that is the person that was teaching me how to survive and thrive outside of the military was someone that had retired and came right back as civil service, like a civil servant. So they never actually worked on the civilian side before, but they were going to teach me how to survive and thrive in the civilian world. Like, how, Sway?
Man. It's called the Veteran Business Outreach Center, but I'll leave it for a minute. So it's a lot of groups that if people are looking at this, you guys are going to have to go Google them yourself and figure it out, or reach out to Jesse and he can connect you to the LinkedIn user that's putting this out there for us. I appreciate you dropping that in the chat, sir.
For sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I came out, they didn't have anything. I just got peace. Yeah, man. We'll see. You'll be back. It was like getting out of prison. They're like, you'll be back. I'm like, all right, man. Like, I've had two transitions. So I transitioned out of the military into the workforce and nobody would hire me. I was considered a loser, an L, right? Like, so because I didn't have a college degree. And then I was working at a trophy store. Do you realize I was working at a trophy store? Do you even know what that is? Like, they have a store in town. They've been replaced by Amazon, but like, you go play softball or somewhere, and we got to have a trophy for the championship. I'm the dude. I'm in the back with a saw and all the little glitter pieces and stuff, putting the dude on the top with the hand up and putting this puzzle together. I mean, and, the bottom piece was granite, a little brick of granite, and here's your trophy, sir. And I would engrave the little thing on there, Jesse Bullseye Consultant. Like, I worked there for like 6 or 7 months at $7.50 an hour is after the military. And I was going back to college to be a police officer. And I was broke. And so the only people hiring were sales positions and a car dealership. That's how I got into this business. A Honda dealership gave me the opportunity to come work there. And the guy at the trophy store was like, he had the specifics for me. He said, Ronnie, 5% of the entire United States population makes it in sales. You are not going to make it. I was like, I was, once again, too ignorant. I was like, that's a low number. I don't know what that means. Like, and he was like, how about I give you $1 raise, $8.50, I'll speed this up. A year later, I made $50,000 in 1993. 93. Like, it was crazy because of just switching to my.
Ronnie, actually, don't speed it up, because these conversations are valuable for everybody that's on their entrepreneurial journey, building a brand. So all of the details are a breadcrumb trail for someone that is completely lost in their pursuit. So, like, we should not fast forward past any of it.
You're right. I can't say it was easy. I almost got fired my first year in sales. I was not productive. But going back to that military talk, I was disciplined. First one at the dealership. Dude, I came to work as a soldier. I was 23. Like, and I had been to war. I had back. I was like, I had served for quite a while, right? And so it was just very natural. What time we open? 9? All right, I'll see y'all at 8:30.
Right.
I was cutting the lights off at the end of the night. Like, I was disciplined as hell. And that's something that all of the military entrepreneurs should just be grateful for. All that hard work that you were put through is going to serve you really well in the business world.
100%. Well, depending on how they apply it, because there are a lot of folks, unfortunately, that absent the exact framework for them to operate, it's almost like being released from prison, after serving a 20-year sentence. Like, I can't imagine being locked up for 20 years and you come out. Like, I think about it in this context. When I got stationed in Germany back in 2004, I had my mother record 106 in Park and music videos on a VHS for her to mail the VHS to me, for me to put that VHS in my VCR, for me to be able to watch my music videos on in Germany, because we didn't have YouTube at that time. Right? Like, things change drastically. I'm saying all of this to say, when some folks get out the military, it's just like a prisoner getting out of jail for 20 years, in the sense of all this technology has changed. Like, how people move and operate is just different. On the civilian side, it is different, right? Like, it don't matter if you are a O10 or a E9. Like, it's thank you for your service and what can you do for me? Right? And that is a difficult cross to bear for some folks, especially those who achieve the higher ranks, because in the course of them achieving the higher ranks, they get a different reception whenever that they walk in a room. they get a different reverence whenever that they speak. And then all of a sudden, you just a regular dude or a regular gal, like, and that's difficult for people to grasp, some folks to really grasp. So yes, the discipline when applied properly is absolutely going to be an asset.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, like, you just brought back some memories, man. Like, I used to spin vinyls. I had Techniques 1200s for you old heads out there. I could cut and mix and scratch, and I had a Techniques fader. I could do all of those things, and I actually DJ'd, and I had egg crates full of albums before I went into the military, and I really didn't have an aspiration to be some huge DJ. It was just what we did in the 80s. It's like everybody wanted to be Grandmaster Jay, or whatever. And I remember getting out of the military, and you start watching things change to digital music production. Have you ever got, like, it's at the tail end of my club life a while back, where you go around there, what you spinning, man? And he's got all this stuff and turning buttons and things. The party's rocking. So here's the thing: take the digital thing that we all fight against doing. I didn't want to go from all my egg crates of albums to digital. But dude, Paulie D from North Shore, what is it? Jersey Shore, is a DJ that makes $11 million a year because he does it all digital. He probably don't need he just presses a button and it's done. So that's very similar to those of us who do not want to be on social media, and don't let this wave pass you by. If you want me to put some fear out there, right now it's free. Right now, it's free to be on Facebook. People, they take it for granted. I got to get on my Facebook. Like, I ain't paying for that blue check mark. Okay. Next year, it might not be. Facebook's $29.95 a month. Like, all they got to do is put your TV show on there. The only way you're going to see it is on Facebook. It's $30. Like, we don't know. So right now, it's a free wave. Get in, enjoy yourself, start working hard. So it doesn't matter if they start charging. We got 4 more comments, Jesse.
Right. No, getting the engagement going, man.
Let me see. He also said, in the military, we learn how to embrace society. Who doesn't know that, right? Embrace. Right. That's also what, David Goggins? Yeah. Grit and determination push us through from day to day. Same level of grit and determination. Yeah, that is a
100%. 100%.
And it's inherently true as a military person. How many times? I mean, I know you're in the Air Force and all. I respect you and all. But, like, dude, I was running in Mickey Mouse boots in Nebraska, 20 below. Running, like, outside on the street running. Dude, I'm running down the street doing like 6 miles, and there's ice on the street. There's a river right there, and there's ice on the street. It had not snowed. And I'm like, Sarge, where did that ice come from? He goes, Haskins, you ain't gonna believe me, man. I'm like, come on, man. Did y'all do that? Like, I'm talking about a car, the size of a car of ice on the street. And I'm jogging by it. And he's like, dude, when the river moves, it shoots it up into the air. It comes crashing down. We just not here when it happened. It can kill you. And I'm out here running. I'm like, this is where I'm at. But the grit and the determination to get that 6 miles done is going to happen no matter what. So I find these little stories, man. I know I derailed the whole podcast.
No, it's not and that's my point, bro. Like, it is not a derail. Like, all of our experiences are what gives us the ability to build the know, like, and trust factor with folks, like those relationships. It is our story that creates that. So when we're talking about building a digital authority, it's important for our audience to have the confidence within themselves to share their story as well, because through them sharing their story authentically, they are going to resonate with their audience.
Yeah. And I tell you, I mean, it's just, I'm happy that we're doing this because I feel like it's going to be important. That was Camp Ashland, Nebraska. That's where that was. I was in primary leadership development course, PLDC. Had to shoot an azimuth. I had to go navigate through the woods. Can't be off by 1 degree. Like, I've forgotten all of that stuff, man. Anyhow, this is a good hour.
For sure.
I'm going to push this button and see what it does. This is bring comments on it. Oh, look, dude. So we can bring this up and be like, yo, check this out. Like, they're kind of, they're live as they're going. Oh, wait, can I scroll through them? Nah, they're just kind of live. We got a lot of technology here that we can play with.
Yeah. No, we're going to dial it in.
We meet tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll talk a little bit about it, and then we'll email me the logo so I can load it up so we can do it tomorrow.
I gave you access to the file already.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll send you the link.
Oh, you sent me if I don't figure it out, we'll do it tomorrow. But yeah, I'll see you later today too.
For sure. All right, man. So for all of the folks that have tuned in to rock with us, deepest gratitude. Thank you for your attention, your time, and this platform is going to continue to grow and evolve with the intent of not only sharing transparently our journey of building brand authority, but hopefully bringing some of you along with us. Thank you for listening.
It's all available. Yep. Thank you. So, yeah.